Hi, welcome to Cougars on Cougars. This is our 5th episode. We can't believe it. And we are happy to be here. Just really happy this week, right?
Finally, a road trip where we win both games.
And not just win, feel really good about both games.
Dominate.
So there was, we saw a lot of love on the court over Valentine's Day weekend. And our quote of the week has to do with love too, doesn't it?
Yep. And shout out to my brother Cam for posting this week. It's from Michael Jordan. He said, "What is love? Love is playing every game like it's your last."
And they did.
And it is, for some of our seniors, they've only got a few games left and only a few home games this week against San Diego on Saturday, and then 2 next week, Portland and Gonzaga, and then that's it for them for home games.
Yep, so we hope to see a lot more love coming from them in these last few games.
This week was Valentine's week, and we have a special talk of the town this week. So here's what we loved on social media.
Yes, before we get into our Valentine's special, we wanted to talk about a tweet that Devon Blackman had. He was on ESPN 960 this past week. I think he's trying to do what he can to see if he can compete in the NFL at all or get into the combine. But he posted a really exciting tweet saying that he was having the discussions with the missionaries. And we retweeted that from our account, and it was so exciting. And he also, on that same night, posted a picture with Taysom. So I don't know if they were all getting the discussions together or what, but that's really exciting. We loved that tweet from Devon.
Very cool of him to share that too.
Yes. Yeah. So. Yeah. It loved it. It got hundreds upon hundreds of retweets. So
for good reason. Other news this week. So we've been talking about Tanner and his modeling career.
Tanner Mangum Modeling Company.
And we didn't get a solo pic of Tanner this week, but he might have a new rival, and that's in Elijah Bryant, who we found out a couple weeks ago likes to be called Brig for his middle name Brigham. So here are a few pictures that he posted this week, his modeling pictures, so check those out too.
Yes, and let us know who you think is the better model. Speaking of Tanner and his model rival, he also posted on Instagram, like Jess said, we didn't get a solo pic, but we did get a picture of him and his Valentine. Aww. And the caption says, "Happy V-Day, Alexa Gray." And from the carpet, judging from the carpet, it looks like they're at a church at BYU. And they're just
I think
cute
they're actually in
Valentines.
Boise this weekend.
Oh, geez. Well, the carpet is...
long weekend.
The same
it's universal.
It
sure is.
Church, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
So happy Valentine's Day to those two lovebirds. Speaking of Valentines, we made some.
Yeah, so we had some time Friday night. We were just chilling. And we had seen Valentines. I mean, I remember when Jimmer's senior year came around, there were a ton of BYU Valentines going around. So we kind of brought some of them back and then made some of our own. So if you missed those, here's a few of them.
This one of Zach was one of our favorites, and Jess thought of the tagline. It says, "Will you be my Valentine? Say yes," but yes, like JAAS. It was pretty clever, if I do say so myself. And Zach thought so too because he retweeted it. So we had fun with that.
Yeah, we did. So a couple of things that happened this week with the basketball team. Since it is Valentine's week, we saw some posts of the guys with their Valentines. So we showed Tanner's. Nick also posted one with his fiancée, Sarah. Really cute picture.
Yeah, and it says, "Happy Valentine's Day to the love of my life." Very, very romantic. It's a cute picture. But so Nick has a Valentine, but Jamal does not, apparently. So he posted, it's just one of those really funny memes that's like, how many people want to be my Valentine, with just this face that's like, no one wants to be his Valentine. Which I don't know why. Jamal's a cute kid, and the caption said that his DMs are wide open. So his relationship status is apparently very single, and we want to use that to transition into the rest of the team's relationship status. We figure it's Valentine's week. Why not address each of the boys on the team and let you know if they have a Valentine or not. So, Jess, let's get started with...
So we'll start with Nate Austin, who we're pretty sure is single. Now, if we get any of these wrong, we're sorry.
And let us know. We are in no way authorities on their love lives. We just know what we found on a social media sleuthing. Yeah. But Nate, from what we can tell, is single.
Single.
Obviously, Jamal, we just said, is single. Jordan Chapman, now tell me what you saw about Jordan Chapman.
I just saw him after a game at the Marriott Center the other night holding hands with a girl leaving. So I would assume he's got a girlfriend.
Either he's dating her or he just likes to hold people's hands. So we're going to go with Jordan has a girlfriend. We don't think it's a fiance. Kyle Collinsworth, He is married to one of the most beautiful girls at BYU. Her name is Shay, and she is a track all-star.
She just broke a record this weekend.
She did. So. Tom Homo was tweeting about it. Mark Durant tweeted that we need to make offers to their kids immediately, which we agree with. So,
yeah, how could you
superstar children in the future.
Yep. Kyle Davis, we've talked about before. He's married. His wife's name is Kelly, and they're expecting a baby in July.
Yes, so married, off the market. Nick, we just talked about, so he's engaged to this girl named Sarah. She went to Lone Peak. I don't think they dated in high school. I don't know, though.
I think they did.
I don't know about their love lives. Anyway, he's engaged. It's fine. Off the market. Chase is so interesting.
Married.
He always says he's married, but he's not legally. He's not legally married.
Not officially.
But he's been dating this girl for years, and he always says that he's more married than a lot of the people who are married or dating people on the team. So you do you, Chase. We know that there are a lot of girls who are disappointed about that. But
Corbin, we're pretty sure is single.
Yes, we have not seen anything that tells us otherwise about Corbin. Jacob Hertzog is engaged. His fiance posted a hilarious Valentine's Day video of him dancing. If you can call it dancing, it's mostly just super awkward, and I'm afraid that we're gonna lose another player to injury because of his dance moves. So
it was great. And I'm pretty sure his fiance plays on the volleyball team.
Oh.
Keeping in tradition with his brothers.
Well, great. Athletes and athletes. Yeah. We'll post a link to that Instagram video, by the way, because it's hilarious. Okay, Zach, Mr. Celius.
Zach Celius is pre-mission. We don't think he has a girlfriend.
Yeah,
probably shouldn't.
There was a girl in his Twitter avatar for a while, but we don't know if that was his sister or cousin. But the most important thing is he's going on a mission, so whether he has a girlfriend or not, he ain't getting married to anyone but the Lord.
Braden Shaw is engaged, so he's off the market too.
Yep. And finally, our walk-on extraordinaire, Davin Gwynn.
No idea.
We don't know. We tried. We did Facebook stalk him. We didn't see anything. There's no girls in his profile picture, so we're going to guess that he's single. So if you're looking to date a walk-on, hit him up.
Or don't. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Really,
or maybe he actually is married. Never mind.
Oh,
just don't listen to us. But you know what? The more you know. So now you know probably slightly more than you did.
Hopefully.
Okay, sticking with the love theme, there was a lot to love in this week's games. We're going to be coaching from the couch now, and we have a coach joining us, Coach Jesi Fiso. Coach Fiso, during this segment, is going to be with us. She is just a longtime BYU fan who has a cute little BYU. You saw her kids in the Raisin 'em Right segment, so Jesi, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having
Coach
me.
Coach Tyler, and Coach Blanchard. We are here to let you know. Jess, let's start with what went right.
Well,
in USF, in the San Francisco game.
Starting with San Francisco, I mean, shooting was great. We scored 114 in that game, which is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
And last year it was 99. I mean, we just love that gym. And I think shooters have said that they love warm gyms.
Yeah.
Apparently it was really warm in there. And Nick
Nick was talking about the rims, too. They call it a shooter's gym, which I didn't know. I mean, I guess that's a thing. Shooter's gym.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Jesi, what do you think went right?
I agree. Shooting was great. Also, in particular, three-point shooting. And a lot of that was not allowing the previous week that we won't talk about affect their confidence. And they kept shooting, and they started hitting it, and it was beautiful.
Shooters got to shoot, right?
Yes. It was
63% shooting, 17 of 27. I think the BYU record is 18 a game. So that was pretty close to the record.
Really good. So we were 63 from three and 57% overall, which I will take a 57% shooting day, threes or no threes, any day. That's fantastic shooting. So that's what went right.
The other thing, can I say real quick,
was
Chase Fisher, my favorite, who took a lot of hate on Twitter this week, which I'm not happy with a lot of you about.
3 members of the married people who admire Chase Fisher fan club sitting right here.
That's right.
So he, got that shoulder stinger earlier in the week. Weren't sure if he was going to play, except for I knew he would.
Well,
because
the crazy
it's
thing
Chase
is,
Fisher.
we didn't know if it was his shooting shoulder or not, because it was
wasn't.
really limited information, so it was really good that it ended up not being his shooting shoulder. And so he played through, no matter what.
What went wrong with that game?
Yeah.
It's hard to say what went wrong, and don't misconstrue this. We aren't complaining. We will take those wins any day of the week, but there's always things to improve on, and we're coaches in this segment, and coaches should always see room for improvement. So 12 turnovers. Not good. it worked out fine, but I mean, you still got to handle the ball better, right? What else?
Zach Sellius continues to struggle a little bit. And I think ever since he hurt his shoulder, he just hasn't been back to 100%. And we really need him.
Game,
but we did have bench points this week. So.
Yeah, 16 in that game. Jesse, do you have anything that went wrong?
I want to see more from the posts. They're doing well. I want to see them improve even more. I want to see them get down dirty in the post, in the paint. You know, I want them to show us how strong they can be. And Davis was good. He's decent, you know, like he's good.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could see so much more from him. He has so much more potential.
I think you can just look at the guards and you're like, oh my gosh, they were on fire. But then you look at the posts and you're like, you were solid, but you could still, I mean, I don't think anyone would say that the post players were on fire necessarily.
Well, I will say though, for Corbin, he got the start this week.
Yes.
And he got a double-double.
Yes.
So
He did.
Yes. Oh, puppy watch. Corbin, my cute little puppy. He's doing very well. Okay, Santa Clara, let's get to it. What went right? Coaches?
Jesse?
Coach Fiso?
I love Santa Clara. You know what? In both these games, I loved seeing the assist ratio. I feel like they were sharing the ball more, and any time the team shares the ball, the percentage goes up. I feel like the shooting percentage goes up. So that's what went right for me was the assists.
That's good. That's good, Coach Fiso. Coach Tyler?
On the assists, though, there was one play. I think it was in that game. It might have been San Francisco. But the shot clock was winding down. We're getting passes around. We got it to Zach with about 3 seconds left, and he passes it to Jordan Chapman, who's wide open, and nails the three-pointer with 1 second left.
I remember that.
And that was when, if you remember, Coach Rose jumped out of his chair.
Yes,
so
yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
and
so
then I will say that about Zach. He didn't have any points in this game, which was disappointing, but he had some great passing, and that's what I love to see. Is when you know your shots aren't falling or your shoulder isn't up to par, but you need to be getting those minutes in because we don't have any depth, that he's getting those good passes in. If you can't shoot, which obviously we would love to have him shooting, but pass. He had some really solid assists even inside. I just really liked what I saw from him assist-wise.
Maybe he just needs to roll his shorts up more.
Triple roll, and then he'll get it back. I actually...
Short.
Zach, please don't do that. Let's... No.
And I don't think we've said enough about Nick Emery yet. I mean,
oh my gosh.
USF, he broke the freshman scoring record.
So good.
And then comes back and has another 30-point game against Santa Clara. So that was really impressive. And I feel like he's feeling like he used to in high school. He's feeling back to his old self.
Yeah.
So I hope we see that a lot more going forward.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Nick was it was exciting to see his game against USF, but we knew he could go off. But to see it again, back to back, which is great. What was most good to see, best to see. Okay, let's go with that. Also, while we're on what's right, 58% shooting, a 57% shooting night, and a 58% shooting night. Like, who does that? Who does that on the road? Okay, so let's end with what went wrong against Santa Clara. Again, there is not much, but just a couple things that we could improve on. We won't even say what went wrong, just things to improve.
Well, for me, it was defense. There were a couple times our guys would get beat, and they would do a stupid foul. You know, and for me, it's you just move your feet quicker and get back in front. And I think sometimes they like to guard really close, and they just need to take maybe half a step back so they can keep that extra edge on them when the opponent tries to drive on them. So that was my thing, was defense.
Yeah, and even when you're shooting well, you don't want to see them get lazy on defense. You want to see hands up every play and see them get. I mean, the offense is exciting, but maybe they could get a little more excited about defense too, even when they're shooting well.
Yeah.
So.
Zach Sellius, no points, no shot attempts, so that was a frustrating night for him.
Yeah.
We missed 6 free throws. Both games we shot 70% from the free throw line, so could be better, but luckily the shooting was on point.
We saw 16 bench points in USF, which is fine. I'll take that. It only came from 2 players, and then we saw more players off the bench in the Santa Clara game, but only 9 points. So, again, it didn't matter because our starters really, really stepped up, but in a game where we need to rely on our bench, it's going to have to be maybe more than 9 points. So hopefully Zach gets back to 100% and Jordan is able to really find his shot.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out to Chase Fisher again. Another 22 points and a career high for him in assists with 6. So.
Yes. And okay, so that's coaching from the couch. Thank you, coaches. Finally, next we're going to be talking about Taysom and Tanner, Jess and I. But before Jesse leaves us, we wanted to ask her stance on the Taysom-Tanner battle, which isn't actually a battle, but it is.
Isn't it, though?
It is on Twitter. So
I think it's hard to let go of Taysom. We love him so much. But I want Taysom to do what's best for Taysom. And I don't know if that is staying at BYU. I think he's going to have to figure that out, and the coach is going to have to figure it out. Because I really think that they're going to have to choose one or the other. I don't think they're going to do both, if that makes it. I don't think they'll go with the dual QB system. But that's just, I want Taysom to do what's best for Taysom.
What about Tanner?
Yeah. I want Tanner to keep throwing. I want him to learn. I want him to improve on his 10-yard passes. He's really good at those long bombs. I want to see him get those short passes down.
So in summation, Jesi wants what's best for Taysom, which is a really level-headed opinion. Level-headedness is not necessarily a thing we see a lot with this debate, but I like it. Thanks, Jesi. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I know we said we were done with that segment, and we talked mostly about the men's basketball, but we do want to give a shout out to
We have to give a shout out to women's basketball. Lexi Rydalch was just out of her mind this week. I loved her buzzer beater shot on Wednesday. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was fun to see that right before the men's game started.
Yeah, it's
a good omen, right?
Yes, it was definitely a good omen, and I loved the coach on the team who, she jumped up and was so excited, and then she realized she was on the court, and she turned around and got all the other players off the court. No, wait. There's still a second on the clock.
And they've won 14 in a row, which is incredible.
It's crazy. And they're ranked, aren't they? Or are they not yet?
Not yet.
Well, if they aren't, what more can you do than have a 14-game win streak? So it's more than the men can say, right? So
and even on Saturday they were great too. And Kalani Purcell is just a beast, and I love watching her play.
Coach Fiso loves Kalani Purcell.
Yes, I do.
All right, for our last segment, we wanted to give you our takes on the Taysom Tanner debate, especially since this week KSL came out with this article, and the article was actually about how Taysom Hill coming back to BYU might not be the best thing. But this article had a poll in it, and it asked who you wanted to be BYU's quarterback next year. And while some people don't really buy into the results, because I think a lot of Cougar Nation takes issue with the person who wrote it, for one thing, and then also because some people think it's biased because of what the article was about. However, the poll received more than 7,000 votes, which is a lot of votes, and I at least feel like that's enough votes to abolish most of the bias that may be there, and obviously some of it may still be there, but that's a lot of people. So Jess, what was the breakdown?
So currently 62% of people think that Tanner should be starting next season. 38% think Taysom. Mm-hmm. So Utah, it broke it down by state. Mm-hmm. And Utah was split 66-44 with about 5,000 votes. So definitely the majority of the votes there. Yeah. So more than half came from Utah. So it's favoring Tanner. More than half of people want Tanner. It was 70-30 Tanner Taysom, but it's leveled out, but it's still pretty heavily favoring Tanner. So it broke it down by age and gender and region. So it's a really cool poll. If you haven't seen it, we'll try and post that link. It's kind of funny because 77% of females want Tanner and 23% want Taysom. And I don't think that's because of looks, because if it was by looks, I would be voting for Taysom. I'm not sure what to think of
Tanner. But then the men were 50-50, dead even split, which was pretty funny. So me and Jess stand on different sides of this debate. So she's going to tell you why she wants Taysom back, and then I will tell you why I want to stick with Tanner.
Let me just preface by saying I'm a little upset we're still talking about this because
instead of knowing.
Yeah. But anyway, so my thought with having Taysom come back, the first thing that I go to is next year's schedule. I mean, if you've seen it,
it's killer.
We've got some huge games next season. Michigan State is a huge one. UCLA, Arizona,
Utah,
West Virginia, Utah. Yeah, huge games on that schedule. Probably the hardest schedule we've ever played. Yep. And when you play a tough schedule like that, you almost need two really good quarterbacks. Now, I do think if Taysom comes back that he should be starting, just because of his seniority and what he can do. And I think the coaches, at least Ty Demmer, seems to agree with that. Mm-hmm. I do think they'd both battle it out. I know there's some issues about, well, what happens if we have two quarterbacks and is the locker room going to be divided and all of that. I think Taysom and Tanner are both smart guys. Mm-hmm. They're both professionals, and they will work it out, and they will do whatever's best for the team. So I don't see that as much of an issue. But I think having 2 good quarterbacks would be really beneficial to our team next year. So I hope Taysom comes back.
Yeah, and I like what you said, that you think that Taysom has a lot to prove after these injuries and that you want to see him do it in a BYU jersey. And it's hard to dispute that, because I don't think the problem is that we don't love Taysom, because I love Taysom, and me wanting to stick with Tanner isn't me loving Taysom, because I absolutely adore him, and I think that he is one of the best athletes to ever come through BYU. However, my main thing is that I think wanting Taysom is wanting the past and wanting to be retroactive and wondering what could have been, because of course we all wonder what could have been. We were 4-0 when he got injured 2 years ago, and I mean, could we have gone undefeated? Could he have won the Heisman? We all wonder that, and we want to see that fulfilled. And so I think that's a big reason people wanted to come back. But I think that Tanner is the future. Tanner came in like a champ when Taysom went down, and he put the team on his back. He was just the type of leader that you want to see. I think that Ty Detmer could do a really good job developing him. I think that even if those Taysom and Tanner don't divide the locker room themselves, because I don't think they would. I think they both have really good heads on their shoulders. I think that no matter what, there's going to be people who are going to maybe think that we should be going with Tanner or Taysom. And then the final reason that I prefer to stick with the future instead of the past is that Taysom is so injury prone. And I don't have any more room in my heart, little sports fan heart or emotions, for him to go down again. And I mean, just the scenarios really freak me out. What if Tanner redshirts and Taysom gets injured 6 games into the season, and Tanner has to
come in and play?
Yeah.
He can do that on a red shirt, though.
Well, he can do that, but then he's wasted half of one of his seasons. And do you want to see that for Tanner? Do you want to see Tanner get screwed by Taysom coming back?
I don't think Tanner gets screwed by Taysom coming back.
And I think he does. So that's why we're on different sides of this debate.
I love Tanner, too. I mean, I will be happy either way, honestly. I think either one is a good choice. Yeah. But I like most fans, love Taysom. Mm-hmm. His seasons have been cut way too short, and I want him to just have one more shot.
Yeah, and I see that mentality, and I think that some people see my mentality too. Most importantly, it's not up to us. It's up to Taysom, and we agree with what Jesi said. We both want to see Taysom do what's best for Taysom, and more importantly, we want to see BYU do what's best for BYU. So if we're winning, whether it's with Tanner, whether it's with Taysom, whether it's with Bo Hodge, or both, whoever it is, as long as BYU is winning, we're happy. So tweet at us. Let us know where you stand on this Tanner-Taysom debate, and let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear them.
And we hope to get a decision before spring ball. That's only a couple weeks away. But
Ty Detmer did ask for that.
And I think we agree. I think the only reason we haven't got anything from Taysom yet is because I honestly don't think he's made a decision yet. I think if he knew, he would have said so by now.
So Taysom, whenever you're ready, we're ready, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, so coming up this next week, we've got San Diego twice, which is a little strange, but we play at San Diego Thursday night, 9 Mountain Time, and then on Saturday. Yeah, that was a scheduling thing you said, because we went to the tournament, and that's when we were supposed to play San Diego the first time. Mm-hmm. So we get them back to back. So that could be either really good or really bad. We hope to see hopefully good.
Some great shooting again.
Shooting and cruise through. So.
Yes, so we'll see you at the Marriott Center on Saturday. Hope we can get the win on Thursday. The sponsors for this week's show, our first sponsor is all 35 of Jimmer's Points. He won D-League MVP in their All-Star game, so
hopefully he gets a shot in NBA teams soon.
Yes.
And then also all 68 of Nick Emery's points on our road trip, and his WCC Player of the Week honor. So congrats to Nicholas.
A lot of points sponsoring our show this week.
Impressive.
May you always stay loyal to the white and blue. For Jess, I'm Mary. See you next week.